Hello everyone! Today we will be building our own translator application. You'll be able to translate whatever you would like to whatever language you will choose to. Okay, to do that we'll use RapidAPI, also Axios, Express and View Engine as always EJS to make it look more clear. And to do that, you should go to rapidapi.com and create your own account. Then, when you just log in, create your account and log in, you should go and look for something like translate text. I guess it is. If it's not, yep, it should be like that. And whenever you will find your text translator, you should first of all change and subscribe. There you'll be able to subscribe that option, and inside of that you will be able only to choose the few options. One of them is free. As you can see, I've got like 100,000 characters per month for free, so you can use it whenever you would like to. If you would like to use more characters, you should use the bigger version. And to do that, to make it happen, we'll just go to our Visual Studio Code, and of course we'll initialize our application. So inside our folder we'll create npm init-y. Also we'll need, as I said, Axios, EJS, and Express to create our application. Okay, so first of all, what we'll need to create index.js. And inside that index.js, we'll get, first of all, will be Axios, require Axios. The next thing, we'll need Express, also will require Express. And the last thing that we'll be using, as you can see here, we'll be using URL search params. And to make it happen, we'll just go for it. Const URL search params equal require URL. Okay. The next thing that we'll have to do is to initialize our application. So we'll do that like that. Also, we'll create some kind of route, request response, and inside that route, we'll just make like console.log, whatever. And also app.listen on port, for example, 3000, and here we will just get inside the console.log server is running. Okay, right now we've created only our server in Express. The next thing that we'll have to do, we should prepare the front-end part. So I mean our view engine, which will be EJS. And to make it happen, app.use, and we'll need view engine and okay, and it will be EJS. The next thing, we'll use Express, not export, but Express, that you're all encoded, and we'll make it extend to extend it to true. Okay, as you can see, it returns our middleware that only parses the URL bodies and to look at request at that content type if they're matching the requests. That's why we need it. And the last thing, we'll need to use express.static to be able to make some kind of look inside our application. And okay, we created our view engine, our static files. So right now we can create our folder called public. Of course, the public should have something like styles.css, and inside that styles CSS you will be able to create some kind of body. H1 of course we'll need. It will be very basics. Form. We'll also need text area or select. Both of them. We'll need button. Also we will need, when we just got it, we'll create some kind of translation. And the last thing we'll need to handle our errors, like that. And we'll create very easily font family. It will be Arial and sans serif. The next thing we'll need to have text align. It will be center to center our application, and we'll create some margin like 20 pixels. With H1 we'll only create margin button, and it will be like 20 pixels as well. Our form will have display flex to allow our flex box. If you don't know what is it, it's the basics of the CSS, how you structure your CSS, but you don't have to understand it, but I would like to show you everything step by step. Align items will be also center, and the last thing also will create margin button of 20 pixels. Text area will make some margin like 5 pixels and 0. Also we'll need padding. We'll create font size like 16 or 18 pixels. It will be better. Border will create 2 pixel solid, almost white, or we need to change it. Also border radius will be like 20 pixels, and width will be 300 pixels. Button should have margin tab like 20 pixels, some padding like 20 pixels or 10 or to 20, it doesn't matter at all. Also what we'll need, background color, come on, color will be like 4CAF50. Color of white of our text. We don't have any border, and cursor will be pointer when we just get inside of it. And our translation should have something like margin, so we'll just make it 20 pixels the bottom, and we'll make it at the middle side of our website. Max width will be like 800 pixels. We also will need some kind of border. It will be like, as you can see, like that one, but 1 pixel less. Also we'll make some padding. We don't have to make it very clear. And arrow should have color red, margin like 10 pixels and 0. And that's all that we need inside our styles.css. Right now we'll create what we would like to have. So our views, where we'll create our main view, it will be our only view, and it will be, for example, index.js. Inside that index.js we'll create a very simple document type. Also we'll need to link to the style sheet, and it will be styles.css. So we'll style to our CSS that we created. Of course, don't worry, that CSS file I will provide you also with the full code in the description. So you don't have to worry about writing it correctly. And the next thing that we'll need to have, it will be h1, and we'll make text translator. We'll create some form where our magic will happen. And we'll make form that will just get to the translate, and our method will be post. Okay. And inside that form, we'll need text area, and our text area should have name of text, ID, to be honest, we don't need it, rows, columns, we don't need it, but we'll need another things. We'll need placeholder, enter text, and also we'll make it required. The next thing that we'll have to do is to create our target language. So we'll just go back to our API, and we can just go to about and look what languages we can use. So for example, we can choose later on some of them. Okay, so we'll just go back, and right there we'll make select, and we'll make name. It will be target language and required. Also, we'll create some options, and that option will be first, it will be disabled, it will be selected, and select target language, and you should select one of them. And the second option should be the value. For example, what we would like to have? We would like to have check. So we just need CS over here, CS. Also, we'll need to write down, for example, check language. Also, we can go for another language. I don't know. Maybe we'll just go from we can choose some languages. Okay, whenever it would like to go. So we'll just create the Italy, it's IT. And option is IT as a second option. So you can of course, add more options if you would like to. Right now we are only created 2 options for our visitors. And also, of course, we'll need the button with type submit, and inside of that we'll create translate. Okay, of course, I forgot Italy. Yeah, it's like that. IT Italian. Okay, and that's all when we are talking about our form. Right now we can create the magic that our EJS will hold for us. So we'll create if statement, if translation, if there is a translation. We don't need you right now, so we only open. We'll also close it right there because we need to close it, and we can check, of course, in there. And in the next line we'll check if I will just copy that statement over here, and our second if will be about if it's there an error. So if it's error, we should check both of them. Of course, we can just go through if of else if, but I would like to prefer in that option to have if, because whatever we would like to have, whatever we will receive, it will save our asses. Okay, so right there we'll just get the error with percentage sign, And right there, we'll need to create our translation. So what the output of our translation was. So translation. Of course, we'll need to make it more clear and to make it more visible. So we'll just create the div over there. And inside that div, we'll create class. And inside that class, we'll create translation class. Of course, we'll create h2 tag, and inside that h2 tag, we'll create translation. Okay, we'll clean it up, write that. The next thing that we'll need, that's to handle it in p tag to make it more visible. And right now we've got our translation happen. And with error, we only have to, for example, create p tag with class, and it will be error. Okay. Right now, we only need to copy, paste, and we are ready to go with our index.js. Okay, going back to our index.js and creating our own translation. So inside our get, the main get, we'll just return our EJS render, so our view. And it's like indexed, and we'll pass the translation as null, error also as null. So we don't have any errors, nobody cares. Of course, we can just make index.js to check if everything's work correctly. Requires middleware function, but got a string router.use. Okay, we have to check whatever will make work. Our index should work over here. Also, we will like to have middleware function. Okay. Oh, let's add that set. We'll reload our application, go to localhost, reload our page, and as you can see, our text translation works correctly at the time being. So we create our main page, and right now we'll create where the magic will happen. So add that post, and inside that post we'll just make translate over here. We'll create async function with request and response, and inside that async function we'll need to get, first of all, text and target language from request.body. As you can see, we get text from our text area or target language from our select options. The next thing that we'll need to have to go to our API endpoints, where for that endpoints, whenever you subscribe, you will have your API key. And for the time being, we'll need some options. So we will copy like almost write them to our code. And we'll just copy that. Of course, we can save it. Text, it's text, but we would like to make it clear. Okay, it should look like something. Just give me a second. It will be easier for you to just get inside of that code. And of course, it's like that. Right now, we should change some options. So first of all, we'll start with language English. You should choose whatever you would like to. Of course, you can use more options. So you can, for example, select not only target language, but create some select option for the language from which you would like to translate. And of course, then to language you would like to have. Inside that target language, we'll just pass target language. And inside our text, we'll just pass text. And with that in mind, we are almost ready to go to serve our code to the frontend application. I mean to our EJS. Of course, we'll need to create catch block. And inside that catch block, try catch block, of course, we'll create response. And with that response, we'll create await response. And it will be await Axios.request. And we'll get our options as a request for the Axios. As you can see, you've got over here. The next thing that we'll need to do is to render everything that we will have inside our index.js application. And we'll make translation, and the translation will be response.data.translated text. And the next thing, we'll need no error, so we will pass no as an error if we've got the translation done correctly. Whenever our application will fail us, so we will need to just let that render index, and inside that index we'll need to pass translation, and we'll pass no, and we'll make some error, and it will be, for example, error fetching data, please try again. Okay, so we are ready to reload our Node application, and inside our document we should reload our application. Right now we don't have any codes, any errors. We'll just get hello, and to Italian, as you can see, we've got ciao, and hello. To Czech, we've got to. Okay, we have to make some adjustments. Then we'll just go to redirect to the main page whenever you would like to, if everything's done correctly. Now it's not inject.js. Right now we'll just create it right there. Hello, also in Czech application, whenever you would like to have. Okay, we don't need it at all. Whenever you would like to have, as you can see, our application get whatever you would like to have. So that will be all for today. I hope you enjoyed. If you have any more questions, any more ideas for our application, please write down in the comment section. If you like it, leave a like button. If you like it very much, leave a subscription. I hope to see you at the next episode. Have a good day. Bye.